Oh, yeah. We're back. City Pigeons.
Feels good to be back.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Meech. School's out for summer, ladies and gentlemen, and you can see there's one individual who's pretty psyched about it. Fink, how do you feel about the fact that I just scour through your Instagram feed and look for pictures of you that I can use for our YouTube thumbnails? You said you were cool with you being my muse or something like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, you went deep today. You sent me a screenshot. I was like, you got a picture of this?
Yeah.
And it was from what? August 2000.
I think it was last year. No, I think it was last year. But the thing is, you are the only person here who, really puts
handsome.
Well, there's that. There's that. But you also put your energy, enthusiasm out freely and pick. There's so many good things to use. I look at you as like.
You mean like I openly show there's something wrong with me?
Yeah.
I guess you could say that.
Having fun,
dude. It's admirable.
Yeah,
I don't like showing any.
There's not a lot of pictures of Meech on the web.
I don't. And I'm glad. I actually put one up the other day. It was my son's birthday when I was after my wife gave birth to him in 2001. I had such a sweet fade.
I saw that, dude. You looked cool.
Yeah, such a Northeast fade.
Right, that was really good. Anyway,
that's an Archbishop Ryan fade right there.
You guys are all handsome as far as I'm concerned. All right, episode 123. I am Jesse Rendell. I've got Eric Fink to my right,
Sir Michael Meech
to my left, and over at the Good Heart Bar, other location, just a few feet away from us here, we have the wonderful looking Mark Goodhart, who's got the summer shades on. Rock in the middle, positioned on the light backdrop. He's got the shades on now too. You guys look like a weird like Terminator thing.
Who shades
and
these anyway?
Tom's got the white. That's a nice look for you, Tom. And I noticed you got the real like Jack Black beard thing going, man. That's a real look.
The shades and the beard are popping.
Beautiful. Gentlemen, just make sure that we're close enough to the mic so that the audience can hear you. Thank you. Thanks in advance. That's a good looking crew over there with all the shades, have you.
Please keep your arms and legs inside your desk at all times.
Yeah, we'd appreciate that. Anyway, fellas, it is, like it or not, summertime. I'm declaring it. I know that some kids are out of school. Some
barbecue
kids
that's starting at 4.
Barbecue's starting at 4. Let's go.
Wait, is it officially summer? Like, is it?
It's not summer.
Not June 21st.
Got it.
June 21st, the solstice, right?
My kids still have another week.
Do you guys remember the old Deontay Christmas tweet? He goes, it's every time it gets above 80 degrees for the first time, it's officially loose chicks and homicides weather.
Loose women and homicide weather. But he deleted the tweet.
Saw the tweet?
He deleted it. It's so hard to find.
It was from like 2013 or something. Deontay Christmas played for Temple and he played in the NBA for a couple teams.
Hashtag from here.
From here.
Yeah, I know that
He put a tweet out, and it was such an innocuous tweet, right? And it was like, it's getting real hot in Philly. It's the first real hot day in Philly, so you know what that means. And he put hashtag loose chicks and homicides. I mean, it like blew up in Philly Twitter. Like, I think it was partially because of me.
How do you think that would go over
today?
today?
Stop retweeting it. And it got to the point where every year, the first time it got to 80 degrees, that would be like the big thing retweeted. And then he deleted the tweet. He got pissed off about it or something.
I don't know. I'm not even going to comment on that. I'm not going to comment. Now, Mark.
He dropped 35 against Tennessee in a big win at the Leah Center back in the day, by the way.
Is that what happened? Mark, you understood the assignment, and my understanding is you actually are wearing you actually have a Schools Out for Summer shirt.
And he's wearing a coupe hat.
That's on brand.
He's on brand as shit.
But you were wearing the Schools Out for Summer shirt this morning before you found out the name of the episode was the Schools Out for Summer. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct.
Damn. I just nailed it with that.
I don't know that it's ever not summer for Mark, though, to be fair.
Oh, that's a really good point. He's got that sunny disposition that just is.
I know.
It's not bound by a season.
He's always so happy, and I'm jealous.
Yeah. Wow.
They don't make any anthems like Schools Out for Summer anymore. Like that was such a cool thing. You could play every year when it was your last day of school. Now you got shitty.
On a related note to that, because guys, is Schools Out for Summer on the Dazed and Confused soundtrack? It's got to be.
Yes.
I think I'm pretty sure it's the opening scene.
We just had a conversation.
No, it's the scene where they're like busting out to go into the pickup truck to
And
like
with the paddle.
with the paddles.
Yeah, we just had a conversation with Meech, and he indicated that he's never seen.
I've
Dazed and
admitted.
Confused.
I think it's more of an admission.
It's an
I'm
admission?
not just indicating. I've never
guilty?
seen Dazed and Confused. I've also never seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
I've never seen either of those movies either.
I've never
Wow.
seen Animal
Well,
House. There's
Rock.
a few like
That's okay. Out of those three,
Animal House.
I think Dazed and
yeah.
Confused would be the one because that is solely in our, age range. The other ones were a little bit before our time. Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Animal
But I
House.
still
That was
saw
a whole generation.
pretty much every comedy in that era. I don't know what the reason is. I think maybe it's the high school. I don't
Was
know.
that like the Revenge of the Nerds days?
No, but I
and,
loved Revenge. Yeah, but I loved Revenge of the
Caddyshack
Nerds.
days.
That was great.
Before that,
Teen
I think that
Wolf,
was-
like
yeah.
that kind of.
Screening of Dazed and Confused at the Coop.
Oh, I like that. Now, Rock, is there anything that you would say?
All right.
This is a question I have for you. I'm setting you up here. Is there anything you would say there's a common theme between both Dazed and Confused and Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yeah, they're a little laughy, but they're supposed to be classical music or movies, but I just never saw them, man. I don't know.
It's shocking. Anyway, yeah, we should have a screening. That would be I think that
I'm
would
sure
be good
they're
times.
great.
We'll
but
give McConaughey up here.
All right.
What if we do like a
There is
weekly
the
movie
token
screening?
black
We
guy
could put,
in
like,
Dazed
a
and
little rug
Confused.
out,
Rock.
get some
Sick.
popcorn in here,
I love
bring
that.
down the families.
Well, then we
I'm
have to go
in.
like Pixar. Or
I'll
something.
get really bombed and just like embarrass
weird.
everybody.
Yeah,
have a long
like
time.
freak out
I
everyone's
might go
kids.
home and watch that.
One
at
of the
some point
coolest
this
things I
weekend
did
now.
during
You should.
COVID was introduce my kids to like Terminator 2 and all those kind of movies. Like there's nothing like even they were amazed watching that kind of shit. That was
Predator.
Gabe asked me if
Yeah.
you could watch Dumb and Dumber, and I was like, not yet, buddy.
Yeah,
Like, you're 8, man. You need
That's
to
the
settle
issue.
down.
I've gone back.
See, here's all right. I don't mean to cut you off, but I have a lot more experience in this.
This is true. You have
This
5
area.
times kind of the experience.
And I always think back to when I used to watch any kind of movie when I was a kid. I never got told I couldn't watch anything. And it's almost
that
like,
explains a lot, buddy.
but you take it in, but a lot of the stuff you don't get, and you
Right,
don't get
right,
jokes.
right,
They go
right,
over your head, and you kind of pretend you get them. But like I remember listening to the Beastie Boys, and I was like, "Hey, my sister," I was like, "Hey, Jen, what's a porno mag?" I was like so aloof. I didn't know what it was, but if I listened to it, it was just, oh, this has a cool beat, and it's the same with movies. Like, oh, this is outrageous.
Right.
People are
Yeah.
shooting each other, but. At the end of the day, it doesn't traumatize you.
I got a
don't think.
related story on that. My dad and we went somewhere, just me and him, and we stayed in a hotel. And the movie Bachelor Party came on.
Oh, God.
Now, I don't know if anyone's familiar with Bachelor Party. Tom
Tom
Hanks.
Hanks, yeah,
There's a
classic.
scene where a horse dies from doing cocaine, I believe. You guys follow me? But like, I had no idea what was going on. And my dad definitely gave me the don't tell mom thing. And you know what the first thing
That's
I
the
did
best.
was, right? I was like, Mom, I watched Bachelor Party. Not good for dad. I sold him out so bad. My bad. But yeah, I also enjoy what I've enjoyed is doing the like 90s family movies with my kids. And my daughter actually has been watching the entirety of Full House. She's like addicted. I'm like, hey, once you get done with that, it's Boy Meets World. We got Family Matters. We got a lot of
Did you
good
Wonder Years?
wholesome stuff. But the problem is you get into some of those movies, you get some, outdated references.
Oh, you absolutely do.
You
It's
got to
crazy.
really be
It's
careful, man.
crazy.
You know what's funny is like in the pandemic, especially, I would be like, we're gonna watch this movie. It's amazing. Trust me, guys. And then a lot of them were good, but then you throw up like a total dud for your kids. Like my kids did not get Naked Gun at all, which is like an amazing movie.
It's not a family.
And
movie.
another one,
Family movie either.
another one that was
Beaver.
totally dated and didn't work now is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And I'm like, kids, this is gonna be amazing. And they're like, this is horrible.
See, I'm thinking like Little Giants,
Mark's pretty.
Sandlot,
Mark
stuff
and
like that.
Mark and Danielle are pretty liberal with their parenting, I must say. So that doesn't surprise
could
me
say
at all.
Yeah, I never had any rules on, like, I never told my kids they
Yeah.
couldn't watch anything because I never had them.
Yeah, me neither. I used to watch back when I don't know if this happened with you guys, but you would watch like a scary movie. So like I guess back in the day when we were young, it'd be like the Friday the 13th,
Right.
the Nightmare on Elm Street,
Child's Play.
Child's Play. Jason. Anyway,
just because your parents did something doesn't mean that you have
No,
to.
I'm
Like
just
my
saying.
parents were largely they didn't really know where I was half the time in high school. I'm not sure that was a good thing. Like I planned to
it
know where
was.
my kids
Like, if
were.
I was, if I
I
got,
was with you.
yeah, if I
No,
got
but-
traumatized by some shit that happened to me that my parents overlooked, I would correct that in my parenting. But it all led. I mean, it's not like I'm normal or good.
So when I was like 9 years old, I'd watch these movies and I'd be like, "Oh, this is cool." And then when it comes time to go to bed, you're fucking frightened to death, and you're like, "I'm running into mom and dad's room and sleeping in their bed," and they're like, "Get the hell out of here!"
See, I never had that. I
Really?
never got those, scared at before bed.
My parents had no idea what I was doing when I was down the shore in the summers, and they had no idea I was sitting in the back of an open air back of a pickup truck on my way to some party in EHT at like a campground. That Meech was already there with like, yeah, I mean, it was dazed and confused. It really was. But anyway, so summertime, gotta love it. And here's what I'm going to ask you guys right off the bat. Is it, when you were a kid, man, you get out of school and it just was like, it was on and like summer was the greatest thing ever. And I just feel like summer, now that you're older, it loses a little bit of its luster, especially when you have kids. Summer's so much harder than when they're in school. When they're in school, you drop them off, they go wherever. Summer, you got to figure out where they're going.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying, Fink?
Yep.
Yeah.
The dog?
I mean, like, I got to get my kid ready for camp one
dog?
week. Yeah, the dog has to like go out and go to doggy camp.
I had a question for you related to summer. Okay, you ready for this?
Oh no.
There's two scenarios. Which one do you prefer if you had to choose one? Getting in the freezing car in the winter or getting in the extremely hot car in the summer?
Hot car in the summer.
That's a great
What?
question. No,
Hot car in the summer.
You roll down the windows and you're fine.
Sweating when you don't want to sweat.
instinctively choose that because this is the persona he's chose to embrace. He's like this hot sun. He loves hot weather in the summer.
Hot boy summer.
Truly
He's a
does.
summer boy.
I mean, it's very annoying. Even today, I was like, "Gee,
So
bro,
you'd
you
rather
got to
get
shut the
into-
fucking windows." And
I
put
had
the
my
air
windows
on."
down in the car all day, both sides, no air. It was beautiful.
Well, today isn't like one of
Wasn't that
those
hot.
middle August
It
102.
was 87.
It was like 88 degrees at one point today.
I'm definitely on the side of
Sweating when you don't
Yeah.
want to sweat is the worst.
the
I always
cold
thought
car is definitely
in the
worst.
could you can put on more
Yeah, you can
clothes.
put the heat. No, you can
Right.
put the
You
heat
can
seats
get
on.
warm.
That's the
Yeah.
smart
in the
thing.
heat.
You know what I mean?
you
got the
can't,
heated steering wheels nowadays.
You can't get cool enough.
Yeah, and I think the back heater and the steering wheel. You can also do the
You guys
remote
are just
start.
complainer. Oh,
Yeah, the
it's
remote
too
start,
hot
Yeah.
out.
Nah, I think we're on the right track here. I think
We're
we're on the
melting
right
in
track.
here.
All right. Well, I'm gonna come back to this.
It's just he just asked
Go
you,
ahead.
what would you rather do? He didn't say.
I'm talking about you over here, Mister.
Yeah, no, but-
he rather do.
Look,
I'd
I'm
rather
not
have
saying
the
I'm not
heat.
saying the summer is horrible.
And you're telling me I'm a liar.
I'd
I'd rather have the heat. I enjoy it.
listen. There's a certain degree where it's comfortable for everybody, and it's probably around like
It's called
64
Southern
degrees.
California.
I would say like 82.
Nah, see,
No, it's like
That's
low
what
A
we
nice
70s.
summer day, 82 with a light breeze,
you're
7
right. But
miles
it's not
per hour
humid,
out
though.
of the
you should live
northwest.
closer
Oh my
to the
God.
equator, bro.
I
All
wish I could. I mean,
Now, do you guys feel though, like, do you still, when we start to get into the summer, do you still feel that vibe? I mean, I think collectively everybody's a little bit like lower key, everyone's getting a little bit less done. Let's just be honest, a lot more outdoor activities. Do you guys still feel the summer vibe or does it not even matter to you?
Yeah,
I
do
do.
feel it, especially like if you work for a big company like I do. Like summer times, you got people going on
cutting out on
vacation
Fridays
every
and-
week, and
Right.
What do you
Jimmy
do for
came-
work? This is the Minute Work podcast, and we'd like to ask you about your job, Roger.
let's not worry about what I do. Or
Works
where
for the
I work.
government.
I work for a big company. But yeah, it's like the summertime. People are taking like 2-week vacations.
Yes.
No one's in the office on Friday. People
Right.
are like dipping out to go play golf or go.
You would
Not-
never.
not-
Not
kids
you
down the
though.
shore.
Right.
Nah, not me. I'm plugging away, baby.
That's how he knows no one's there on
Yeah,
Fridays. 'cause
right,
he's
right.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Right.
so would you guys rather be golfing or doing your snowboarding and skiing?
Either or.
It depends.
You had to pick one.
If I had to
Both?
pick one, I'd go snowboarding in a storm.
All right. So he likes winter. What would you pick?
Me too. I like golf, but it doesn't
Yeah,
come before
it
that for me.
doesn't compare. The feeling doesn't compare.
See,
Roger and I
different
like to
things.
You guys
get
hate on, you guys
Very.
like try to hate on the heat and warm weather, but everyone here is busy during the summer and does activities during the summer, and you guys don't do shit during the winter, except for you guys who do skiing, snowboarding. But like
Like all of us.
Everyone enjoys spring
What
and
about
summer,
hoops?
and everyone
Play
like,
hoops?
oh,
Yeah.
Play hoops in the winter.
Listen,
Well,
man. There's
marshmallow
nothing I love
roasting.
more than going to the
Pool.
swim club and sitting by the pool and
Yeah.
and
can't
relaxing
do that
with
in the winter.
with a
Listen,
15 pack of Kenny's.
I'll give you the perfect example. Would you rather go to an Eagles game in September when it's 80 degrees, or would you rather go in December when it's 30?
I'd rather go to
December.
an Eagles game in December when
Yeah,
it's 30.
come on.
That's a different.
No way.
But you wouldn't want to go to a Phillies game when it's like 50 degrees. That's no fun. All right, next question related to summer.
I'm not a big fan of the Phillies games when it's too hot, though. I
Oh
gotta
my
be
God.
honest. Like the day game when you're baking in the sun, I'm not a fan. I gotta be honest. There are people who love those Sunday day games. I run from those.
Listen, I've been at some Phillies games. If you sit like in the lower level, like
You get
by the first base or third base line, and there is no wind at all, and the sun is hot, it could be like 75 degrees, and you're getting so nuked.
I've been at like
that's rough.
September Eagles games, and it's
Oh, yeah.
You're getting nuked.
boiled.
Well, and the
hot
worst part
like
is you
that.
got that jersey on. Those jerseys
Yeah.
don't breathe a lick.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I
remember
mean?
You
That's
can't
hot.
wear the jersey in September.
Fink,
in
do
the
you ever
heat.
have any problems with sunburn with your
All the time.
Mediterranean hue?
I went down to Florida in March, and I've had some degree sun
Sun
poison in the
poison.
back of my legs. It was terrible. Excuse
Sun
me.
poisoning.
All right. Well, I know everyone is fascinated with our exploration of the summer season, so I'm going to keep it going and ask everybody here, what is your go-to summer beverage if you have to choose one? All right, and has that evolved? Right. Okay, I'll start just to give you an idea where I'm coming from.
You mean like iced
You know-
tea or like alcohol?
I mean, you could choose whatever you want. I was thinking more like socially, like a alcoholic beverage, but you don't have to drink alcohol. Tommy doesn't drink alcohol, so I'm sure he's gonna not be saying an alcoholic drink. For me, like I like to have a glass of bourbon in the winter, and there comes a point where that brown, the heat, you just got to put it down. What I
Brown,
figured out a
turn that
couple years
belly.
ago is that the Reposado tequila, okay, is a tremendous drink to drink on the rocks. Sip slow, you get yourself a quality tequila, that Reposado tequila. And I like a beer here and there too, but it's a little heavy. So the tequila
That's
I can
interesting
sip.
right there.
That's my go-to, Reposado tequila
That's
on the rocks
still-
with a little bit of lime.
That's still warm on the belly, man. In my opinion, tequila,
Warm on the
bourbon,
belly,
there's
huh?
not much difference in terms of warming you up.
No, tequila is much more of a summer drink than bourbon. That's a ridiculous comment by you.
I
It just
guess so.
is.
I think people. Would,
All right, well then-
I think people would tend to agree with me on that. But
All right.
whatever.
Well, anybody who's got an opinion on that in terms of
Like
Why
I'm,
would you?
I'm not much of a
Tequila's in a margarita. Like, what do you mean? That's a summer drink.
he's
Thank
talking
you.
about
Goes-
sipping it on the rocks, though.
it's
a little
delicious,
weird.
bro.
it's the
No.
margarita minus all the sugar and
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good,
nonsense.
dude. Once the water melts a little bit or the ice
I
melts
think
a little
I
bit.
just had. I got
I'm
like.
not a refreshing
All right, here we
drink
go.
kind of guy. I'm an all seasons, coffee in the morning, water all day,
Kenwood.
and Kenwoods when I'm recreationally
boring.
feeling. It is boring, but one thing I have because I don't like lemonade really. I don't like iced tea that much. I'm not a soda drinker. I don't like club soda. So the one drink I kind of liked from when I was golfing during COVID, everyone was getting transfusions. That's a very like
Oh yeah,
little
those are
bit of
bomb.
ginger ale, some grape. So
listen,
that-
everyone's like, that's
a
a delicious drink. It's half ginger ale and grape juice. Like, how
It is-
could it
it's
not be
delicious.
delicious?
Yeah,
It's a
it is.
freaking, it's like a kid's sugar drink with some alcohol in it.
Yeah, but it's not if you put a little bit of
gotta-
grape and
yeah, you
more
gotta balance it
ginger.
out.
And,
Yeah.
I never
but
had
it's a-
one.
Never
It's a
had
very,
one.
Wow.
it's a
gotta
very
get you-
Never had a
refreshing
transfusion?
summer
It's great. It's
Me either,
great.
Fink.
It's
Don't
a, it's
worry.
a good like to make like we made picture not pictures but like those Coleman cooler things take them to the beach and drink nice little transfusion on the beach.
Bang.
It's
Beautiful.
delicious.
Should make some
Beautiful.
jungle juice and take down on the beach.
Yeah, it's the same idea, but this
All
is
right.
actually it's got
Well,
electrolytes.
Since
and-
we're on the
Electrolytes.
panel
But
here,
Mitch, I will ask
There
you
ain't no
though.
electrolytes in his
Do,
transfusion.
do
my
you
man.
drink your Crown 12 months a year?
yes,
Okay.
I was going to say that because I know you like to, the Crown tops you off there. You do that in the summer too?
yeah, I mean,
No worse. I mean, you drink such little,
yeah, I
baby.
snippers. I call it.
Yeah.
Snipper.
All right, let's go to Fink because
Classic
we're here. Let's go down the line. Fink, what's the summer drink for you, buddy?
I'm a beer guy. Kenwood or an ice cold Miller Lite. Some iced tea.
Not a Northeast twisted tea, dude.
You know,
See, I
this-
never
So
got
my,
into
my
it.
thing is I like
Too much
iced tea
sugar
so
for
much
me.
that the alcoholic iced tea I can't get behind because I like iced tea so
Right.
much. I like just iced tea.
So you become a yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen you with your Wawa little half-gallon jaunts recently.
Yeah, I'm trying to
What's
cut
going on
back
with
a
that?
little bit. I'm pretty sure I have diabetes. So like we're laughing. I'm pretty sure I do. So like, I'm trying to cut back
Be
on the
careful,
sugar
man.
a
You
little
want your
bit.
feet and hands.
Early on, by the way,
I'm down to one bottle of iced tea a day.
early onset diabetes. You're fine. But
we think
we got the Phillies game on here. And
Mick Abel's given up one hit through five innings.
I mean,
I can't wait till they send them back down.
Dog.
Just get him there.
fingers crossed. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get that momentarily. But
Dog.
let me just say that this panel right here did not really bring as much. I was hoping for something different and creative. So we got to go over to the other bar here.
Here's a little creative.
You guys
I
like
didn't
beer?
ask you.
Ah!
I didn't ask you for another submission.
Well, here's
Yet you're going to give one.
but as a bartender, like I make a lot of summer drinks. I think the most requested one lately is an Aperol Spritz. Are you familiar with that?
I actually am, because I was in Italy recently, and when we
That's
came, my wife
huge
got
in
it.
Italy.
She's on the Aperol Spritz. That's her drink of the summer.
Yeah, I always
So-
see the girl.
your wife
It's
drinks
a
I didn't
very
know your wife
refreshing drink. What's
Okay.
in it?
What? No, I
Is
don't.
that-
I know what's in it, but I didn't.
I don't.
What's in it?
It's
What's in it?
Aperol, which is like a Campari type.
Which
liqueur.
has
Liqueur.
alcohol in it.
has alcohol in it.
And then
You-
some spritz.
You do like a 3 count of that, and then some champagne on top of it. Top it off with a little of club soda. Stick an orange in it, straw. Now you're good to go for 45
Definitely
minutes.
That's the drink of the summer, baby.
It's
Good stuff.
refreshing.
All right, let's head over to the Good Heart Bar here,
That's like some shit
Uh,
you get your girl.
fellas.
Well,
Tommy, why don't you?
get me out of the way, because as somebody that doesn't drink alcohol,
That's okay.
My go-to drink though is the Fafa. The Fafa is just a simple cranberry and club with a nice lime and lemon on it. It's refreshing. It's never not incredible.
Somebody asked me for that the other day. I go, "What is a Fafa?" They go, "It's just cranberry and club. That's all."
it.
By the
Yep.
way,
I never
good-
heard that term
hey,
before. I like that.
Shout
We
out
started
to
that
you.
25 years ago. We would go into the old Mahogany's, the cigar bar, and every bar we'd go into, we'd ask for a Fafa. And they'd be like, "What the fuck is a Fafa?" Like cranberry and club, act like they didn't know. So I've never
heard of this.
that was something
until
that it's now
20
morphed.
seconds ago.
Yeah.
Fafa
Originators.
food.
Well, shout out to you, Tom, for being the one person here who's able to like wake up early and get after it, and isn't like ugh. Smart, man. That's real smart. All right, Rocky, let's hear this
Are
from
you
you.
drinking your summer drink right now?
This is kind of a year-round drink for me, but in the summertime, in the wintertime, I would throw this down with a little bit of bourbon, like Jess said. Summertime, I'm like I know this is kind of weird that many people don't do this, but like a gin and tonic.
A lot of people do that. That's
huge.
very
Old man's drink.
No,
Yeah.
it's coming back, but so are Manhattans and old fashioned.
Well, I love the
old man
Manhattan
shit's
shit
coming
too,
back.
but also I will take a stateside, pour it in a glass, and hit it with a little booster shot. You know, what I mean? Throw a
Yeah.
little vodka on top.
a good
You
move.
know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
one of my
'cause
favorites.
there's not a
too
lot
the
in
summer.
there.
What's
There's
that?
not a lot in
Yeah,
there.
it's not a lot in there.
I don't know if this is a place to discuss this or but I heard the statesides or the surfsides have a lot of caffeine in them. Is that true, or is that like was someone bull? And it doesn't really say it on there. I heard it has almost as much as like Four Locos and shit.
I
I don't think
cannot
anybody's died
confirm.
yet. We would have heard it. I'm sure if it was that severe, we would have
Yeah.
heard more.
If it's
I'm
on
drinking
Four
a lot of
Locos
those.
level,
There's
I'll
nothing
test it
on this
out,
can
bro.
that says anything about caffeine, so someone's lying to you.
Can you
probably.
Yeah, someone might be
Yeah.
lying to me.
cannot confirm. All right, Mark, for
So
you, and I know this is a guy he's thought about this. He's got some options.
There's options.
If you want to give us your top three, that's fine.
There's options. No, I'm not going to go my top three. I was going to say that this isn't necessarily my go-to drink, but it is a drink that I only drink in the summer. But Rock sort of stole my thunder. It's a Bombay Sapphire and Tonic, which is a gin and tonic. And it is like a great drink to have at like the 5-6 o'clock hour on the deck. I love it. But I will say another drink that is more of a maybe go-to drink in the summertime that I love. I call it the boat drink. And so that is some good rum with club soda and fresh lemon squeezed into it and some coconut water for hydration and health. And it's delicious. And I'd be happy to make it for anyone anytime.
Yeah, I was gonna say next time I'm down the shore with you or
Yeah.
wherever, I would like a boat drink because that sounds pretty good. I'm not a big rum fan though. Rum gives you terrible hangovers, just like tequila because there's so much sugar in that stuff. But that sounds absolutely delicious.
It's delicious. The fresh lemon, the coconut water, the club
Mhm.
soda, you don't have the sugar that a
Yeah.
lot of other mixed
Yeah.
drinks have.
Plus, you got that coconut water to give you that
Hydration.
hydration.
Yep.
Fight that
Yeah, we
hangover.
drink a lot of Mark knows this. We drink a lot of rum punch down the shore because our neighbors spend a lot of time down in Barbados. One of our
The
family,
Bronco Bar.
yeah, the Bronco Bar. One of our family friends, they actually live in Barbados, and so the rum punch is the drink, which is great, but it's like so much like sugar. You know,
Yeah, I got
so
you gotta-
sugary.
I got turned
Yeah,
off of the rum
You
punch
gotta
one
go
night
easy.
down
All right,
there.
Mark. So you're gonna make those drinks for us. I gotta tell you,
Yeah.
for some reason, gin, man, I can't. I don't know what it is. It's like
Gin
one of
doesn't
those
Very like
agree
it's got
with
like a
me.
piney
Yeah.
taste. You know what I
Makes
mean?
me
Yeah.
But
violent.
like if
like gin,
you cut it with
scotch,
like if you cut it with
anything
like a
that, like
lime,
bitterness.
you think with gin and tonic, cut it with a little lime or lemon, it gets pretty refreshing.
Yeah.
All right.
It is
All right,
refreshing.
Mark.
I didn't know you were a gin and tonic guy. We're gonna have a gin and tonic.
Yeah, let's do
G&T.
that, yeah.
Yeah, on a programming note, we haven't decided when the annual shore episode will be.
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
Fink has never come to. Has Fink ever come to the shore?
No,
episode?
he's actually
Not
never
once.
been to the Jersey Shore.
Dude, we
I
had
don't
like
think.
the most epic time.
He's
and
banned.
Oh no,
never
he was there
came.
once. He was there for the fish show in Atlantic City,
Oh, that's
and
right.
he hasn't been back since. I bet.
But you know what the truth is?
Rough
Fink,
night.
This is my theory on it.
That was actually before I even knew him.
Fink will go to AC or Wildwood, but nothing in between. You know what I mean? He's got to stay
probably banned.
on brand.
I
From
joined
anything
the
south of
the
AC.
Caneys at Stone Harbor
Oh yeah.
once a year.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, Dev obviously has raised your level of
we
class,
do
no doubt.
the shore episode on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and I get done work at like 4 or 5, and my boss he's a real fucking stickler, man.
That means if you left work and drove to the shore, you'd be there right in time for the episode.
Listen,
Which is,
I've
how,
seen-
which is
That's
different
a-
from how?
I want to relax. I don't want to drive it. I
Look.
love you guys. Like I don't want to drive an hour and a half.
I'll drive you
and then
back.
I'll have to work the next day.
How about
it
this,
just,
Fink?
it just goes to show. I've seen Meech absolutely, go way out of his way to make this thing happen. So
I went
there's
I
levels
went
to this.
like 200% one night, and then woke myself up at 5:45
Yep.
a.m. to
Yep.
drive home in time to clock in for work at 7:30.
I think
Legend.
both shore episodes. I drove down.
There's
after
levels
work.
of
and
dedication.
then when you clocked in, did you clock in at your house and sit on your sofa for the rest of the day?
that is not important.
Whoa, whoa, why are you
Semantics.
snitching over there? Stop
Yeah.
snitching.
Yeah.
No one likes to snitch. No one likes to rat.
He's
Uh,
working on his laptop from home on his sofa.
Thing
That's
is,
not
you're
snitching.
missing-
You're right.
Semantics.
That's not
It's not-
snitching.
It's not like I'm making
Okay.
hoagies. You
The
know?
problem with Fink is he's not willing to sacrifice that to be part of the incredible moments that we share together. You
I
know what
think
mean?
both
That's the
shore
problem.
episodes. We have 2 or 3. 2. I
think
think both
3.
times I went down after work, did the episode, hung out a little bit afterwards, and drove right back.
Right.
That's how you do it.
All right, maybe I'll make it this
Yeah.
year.
I
okay?
think if you
Man,
had not
they're trying to
interrupted him,
guilt you, Fink.
Tommy
I'll say
was
this.
offering to drive you there and back.
I'll
Fink.
drive.
I'll make an effort
I'll-
this year.
You have
I'll
no
drive.
excuse. I'll drive you.
I was very happy just that Meech was the one spearheading it and saying, when's this going to be? I love traditions. I'm a big believer in traditions. And once you break traditions, it's hard to start them again. So, like, we really need to just make it happen.
That last one got kind
Yeah.
of scary though, man.
All right. Look, we've had some good times. We're going to run it back. We love
When
to get
is
down
that
there.
Kelsey thing?
The Kelsey thing, I think, is on the 26th.
Isn't that when we did it?
Yeah, we
that's
did it
the
that one
last
year.
one we
It's
did
a
it.
little complicated. We might do it again. But I got the pickleball tournament on 28th. It's a lot going on there. But we're going to make it happen. Don't worry
No, I
about it.
was just wondering, like,
Yeah.
how late we did
Nah, we
it
got
one
this.
year.
It's going to be
Are
great.
we in the
Crazy.
pickleball tournament?
We are not.
Oh,
Shut
No,
up.
we are not.
We
I
don't-
don't. Mark is. I'm not in it
That's
because
why I haven't
I have to work and I can't really.
I
do
made
it.
a promise.
He's
to
not
my-
in it because he's so in
I
it.
made a promise to myself I'd never play pickleball.
There you go.
wait,
Can
what's
I-
going on with
can I work
pickleball?
it?
I missed that whole thing.
Nothing. Don't even worry about it.
All right.
It is the 3rd annual MTWB pickleball tournament in Sea Isle City, New Jersey on Saturday, June 28th. We have very limited spaces available for additional sponsors or team participants. If you're interested, send me a DM. And
Are there
we'll
co-ed
see.
teams? I think
Oh, yeah.
maybe Dev and Fink. should-
Well, I just was talking. I think Dev's going to come. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, and not Fink.
Danielle and I play, Danielle and I play as a team, and we
Yeah.
may or may not have beaten another co-ed team that has a professional athlete on it.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey.
No,
Bam.
Connor and Laura Barwin,
Could you
right?
imagine if Taylor and Travis come in just like flittering?
I'm going
around
to tell
with their
Connor
pickleball
that you
shit?
were out here on this podcast bragging about how you beat him and his wife. That's not going to go well. for
We
you,
should
bro.
text him right now. Like, man, Mark is
Yo,
out
that
here
is not going to
dragging
go
you.
well.
man.
Man, he'd
That's
probably
like
call in right now.
One of my best adult
Headline's going to be
athletic
Mark
moments.
Goodhart beats Connor Barwin's wife.
Let's not say
Let's
that.
not take that out of context.
Sorry, dude. I'm just
No,
trying. to
you're good.
move
You're
this
fun.
show
You're
along.
funny. You're funny. Okay. So we've done a good job talking about summer. But being that this is one of the most established Philly sports podcasts in all of the land.
The Inquirer said it before.
Yeah, I don't know. Did they stop doing their rankings? I think they did.
Once we got on the list, there was no reason to do the
we
rankings
got top
anymore.
15, and then they stopped ranking, which means we're top 15 forever to me.
I think
You
we're
agree?
number one. Yeah.
You agree? We go to 1.
Maybe
Okay.
even 1. Correct. Yeah, I think it might even have been
Anyone
1.
who knows this podcast knows it's not about the rankings. Or
If
the
you look at the
awards,
rankings and
the
you read it
various
from
awards.
left to right, we're number 2.
I also noticed in those
It's like Hebrew.
podcasts.
Yeah.
Now this is a couple years ago.
The
There was
top
at least
Jewish.
there was at least 2 or 3 of them that had the word John in the title. You know, so that's you get nixed for that right
the
off the
official
bat.
pot of the
The city
Maccabees.
pigeons, John.
Not good. The John cast.
I'm Mike John Malici.
All right,
I mean,
So-
Leach.
let's get into some Philly sports stuff because that's what we do around here. Guys, we haven't been together in a long time. No Eagles chance yet.
A-G-L-E-S Eagles. I love
Yeah,
it.
I can't
love
believe
it.
We won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Frankie, you've been gone that long, man. Come
Listen.
on.
You know what the cool shit about winning the Super Bowl is? Like the off season gets so short, and then like before you know it, it's OTAs and then they're back at training camp. It's
Yeah, that's
Clips and
amazing.
Jalen to AJ.
You know when you have a really long off season when your team blows.
when your team blows, the off season is so long and it's excruciating.
Yeah, we're lucky.
yeah, it is the best.
Worried about
Okay.
what we're doing in the off.
I'm not ready, but listen, you know the Birds are always top of mind, but we got a more pressing situation here with the Phils, and it's been a while since we've been together, fellas. And I
It's been a
just
while.
I wanted to take everybody's temperature here because are
Where
you
at?
over there? Is that Stained Nickelback?
Yes, that
Or
was Stained, I believe.
Okay, thank you for
Aaron,
mouthing Stained into the microphone while I'm trying to advance the show. No, I wanted to find out from you guys. I don't know where everybody's at because since we were together, I went away. I was over in Italy, which was fantastic. I know that sounds like I'm the most silver spoon spoiled little boy in the world,
Dude,
but hey,
you're a grown.
second Italian.
You're an
trip.
adult who went on
reference so
vacation.
far.
Stop apologizing for
wait,
it.
what'd you say?
The second reference to the Italian trip.
Yeah, now I'm putting out with the
I
Italy.
want
Italian
I want
trip.
like at least 6 more
Italian.
episodes over.
Yeah.
If I went to Italy,
Italy.
I probably would
Are you guys
never stop
mocking me
talking.
over there?
Yeah.
Yes.
But let me say
God
this:
damn it.
as a sports fan going to Italy, it's very disruptive because the Phillies game would start at like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, right?
Doesn't sound like you're dedicated.
Yeah, I'm not dedicated enough. And then I would the funny thing is while I was there,
So it's basically like if they go to Los Angeles on a West Coast road trip.
Right.
no,
And
on
there's a
steroids.
rain delay for
no,
like a
it's
little
on
bit.
steroids. You can barely get any feel for it. But when
But
they're
my point is, you just skip it.
yeah, you skip it. But on this trip, I'm telling you, I woke up every day and I look at the score. I'm like, they won again. They kept winning. They won every game when I was gone. I can't remember if they were playing the Rockies, which was part of it, or not. But
Did you ever think about
That
just
was
staying
definitely
in
part of
Italy?
it.
I did think about it. It would be fantastic.
If I move here, they'll never lose
Yeah,
again.
it's not a bad idea. And the pizza. Let me tell you about
And
the
the
pizza. Anyway,
pizza.
point is, they just
Hey, I'm
kept
Italian.
winning.
Oh,
sorry.
And at one point, best record in the major leagues, and then recently coming home, struggling a bit in the series against the Brewers, right after Harper gets injured. And now, good game to start against Toronto, and we got Abel pitching well. And the question I have for you guys, since we haven't talked forever, is, as we look at what we've seen up to this point, do we believe that the team, as presently constructed, can win a World Series?
No.
That's what I want to start with right there. You're a no.
Look, I can't remember. I'm not trying to be weird. Have we been together since the Alvarado suspension?
I don't
No.
think
Yeah, I
so.
think so.
I don't think we
it
have, right?
happened like right after the
Because
last time.
that was a huge
come on, Mick.
occurrence that with
You're
this
right.
team, especially since Kirkring's been pitching better, but then he had another bad outing.
Beef Romano's been up and down again.
They're all
Beef
very
Romano.
put it this way, they're all very inconsistent. So that's a problem. But the bullpen is an easily correctable situation.
Okay, but
at the
I don't want to
deadline.
talk about correction yet. I want to talk about
Is
what-
this team currently
When you
God.
say as
No.
constructed, like making 0 moves,
yeah.
How about that great play
As
that
they
just happened
just
right
split
there?
the
That was
defense.
terrible.
Yeah, that was
Take
bad.
the lead.
Well, that was a dangerous play. But go ahead.
it's hard to say no because their record is so good. But if you look at the teams that are going to be in the mix so far when we've played them, Mets, Brewers, not good.
I think actually that's a misinformed opinion, and I'll tell you why. Okay.
Wow.
Dodger series.
Shot
What
that
happened?
right down.
Dodger series was the first series of the
Cool.
year, so I kind of throw it
Indians, what happened?
away.
2 out of 3
we
on
didn't
the
play
road.
the Indians. We played
2 out
the
of 3 on the
Guardians.
road.
We
No,
played the Guardians.
Listen,
I don't know who the Indians are.
fine, Guardians. Get your facts straight. What happened when we played the Cubs on the road?
The Cubs are in.
Our starting pitching.
I'm just saying. I just don't think
it is
this
good
narrative that we only beat bad teams. I think when you actually look at the teams we played is not correct.
I'm not saying that we only beat bad teams. I'm saying one of the reasons that our record is as good as it is
Right.
because we've beaten up on bad teams.
Phillies are 14-15 against teams above 500.
There he is. Stat
Damn.
man. Stat man.
Get your facts straight.
The Mets are 19-11.
Ooh,
seems
facts.
that there have been.
Fink, you got any more facts for
there's
me?
been new facts introduced into the equation. Anyway, point is,
Think
look,
on baseball.
it's not like they haven't beaten any good teams. Okay, it's not like they haven't beaten any good teams. But you look at last season, right? At this point last season, we would have been like, we're money, and the bullpen's great all year, and people are hitting, and then everything goes to hell in a handbasket when we get in there. So I got to solo the cam when somebody decides they're going to go to the bathroom. Guys, if you're going to go to the bathroom, just do me a favor, raise your hand and say, hey, Jesse, I have to go to the bathroom.
Like
I
you're
will
in fourth
excuse
grade.
you. I will excuse you, and I'll change the camera.
So you know what? This is more interruptive than him just getting up. And
Yeah,
going
you
to
know
the
what? But
bathroom.
I want to shun.
So how
I want
about
to
that?
shame and shun
Shame.
people.
How
for
about,
their
you
bad
shame? How about
behavior.
you just continue on with your
How about
conversation?
you're not allowed to talk because at your bar somebody got up and went to the bathroom. Okay,
Two
which is
people, actually.
shocking to me.
Two
You
of
can't
us.
hold your pee for. Anyway, I don't even know where I was. I got flustered.
Phillies can win it all. That's
Yeah.
what I got. To say.
Okay, wait. Last
I
season,
think we're talking about
Okay.
building a trough
But here's the
underneath the desk.
yeah, that's a good idea. So last season, everything's going well. The bullpen looks perfect. I remember last year at the All-Star game, it was like we had 7 pitchers in there. And then you saw what happened at the end of the year. Now, part of me is like,
One of our 7 pitchers is going to probably try and close it out against us tonight.
Oh,
Jeff Hoffman.
Hoffman. Yes, that's right. I'm conflicted because part of me is like, well, it's better to kind of have some struggles in the season and see your issues. But I got to tell you, for me personally, it goes as far as the bullpen. I wish I could, but when Kirkring's in the game, I just feel anxious. When Romano's in the game, despite the fact that he's had some good games, I just think when you go,
Matt Strom's been asked.
yeah, Matt Strom's been terrible. When you go to New York, remember last year we go to New York and we were down 2-0, right? When we went to New York. Like that moment, like if you're not solid during the regular season, last year the relievers looked so good, and then in the playoffs they had issues. So I just think that right there is the Achilles heel. So I don't believe right now the team as presently constructed could win the World Series, because keep in mind we're talking about do they beat the better teams, and to make a run in the World Series you got to beat however many, what is it, 4? You got to win 4 series, 4 or 5. I don't really know. But point is, you got to beat 4 or 5 good teams, and you got to be consistent. And I don't think the bullpen is good enough. So for me, it's a no. Anybody? Did we?
The other thing is too that we don't. The offense is why we lost the past 2 years
Correct.
in the playoffs. They just go dead.
Well, it was a combination last year. The bullpen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The bullpen blew up
And
too.
the year
Like,
before, Craig Kimbrell, man. I mean, you can't just say just offense. It was both.
no, but the bullpen has to be shored up. But like also we have to worry about the offensive side too, because every year comes to the playoffs and they're swinging at balls in the dirt, balls that you wouldn't swing at.
Okay.
And
So up to this point this year, have you seen offensively enough to give you confidence?
they a little bit of hope. They're looking at pitches, they're taking pitches.
The manufactured
walking
runs better
more.
this year.
Here's the most positive thing to look at this team about, right? Like, I'm a pretty much pessimist. I see the same team that lost 2 games at home to the Diamondbacks. I can't get that out of my head, man.
Yeah.
Like, that was just so pathetic that you had that series wrapped up and you lose to a
World
inferior
Series,
team
too.
with your best pitchers available. You lose 2 games at home to the Diamondbacks. That was unforgivable to me. So you have to make big changes, with which this team hasn't. So the way they're currently constructed, no, they probably can't. But the good thing is this starting pitching is dominant enough to just take over an entire series. But again, we have to score at least a couple runs, which may or may not happen. But the starting pitching has been like historically good up until Luzardo just gave up a 12 runs the other day or whatever the hell it was. It's really good. So
It's great.
If that sticks, Painter comes up. You can move a couple guys down to the bullpen once the playoff series gets shorter and more days in between. I mean, that's the positive I can see.
Put Nola to middle reliever.
Let's head over to the
Even though the team's the same.
Good Heart Bar. Mark is back. Mark, you feeling good?
I feel great.
Beautiful.
I do think that the bullpen pitches so much in the playoffs and just in baseball in general right now that I would agree with you. They are not good enough in their current construction to win the World Series, to pitch all those bullpen innings in such a short amount of time.
Is it time? Wait, Tom, why don't you go next?
Why? No Rocky on baseball?
Well, that's what I'm
I
saying.
said yes, they are, because they had the
Oh.
talent the past few years, and what their timing was off. They peaked too early last year. This pitching staff is lights out. You know, with the exception of obviously that one off with Luzardo, they're all going deep. They're all going 5-6 innings, which is deep, which is crazy, but that's another. And I think if we can shore up the back end, which they will do, and they have to hit the ball. We have the talent to do it. We've had the talent the past 3 years, and we just didn't get it done. I think without even making any further moves, you know.
Okay,
I
because you
do think
said
they
to
do.
shore up the back end, then you said without making any further moves.
But then I just said yes. They, assuming they will, but even if they don't, we have the talent to win it this year. You know, you got to get hot at the right time, and we didn't do that last year.
I
and
just
it showed.
worry that you're the
we
guy.
limped into the playoffs, and it showed.
I worry that you're the guy like on the NFL broadcast, you know, who's like one of the last ones to pick, and everyone else picks the other team, and like
I
the
said yes.
logos go up and
Rewind
you
the
change
tape.
it.
Rewind the tape. I said yes 5 minutes
Let's
ago.
go to the
Before you-
videotape.
Here's a
Railroaded
question I
us
have.
talking about
Do you
Mark
think
going to
they'll
the
bring
bathroom.
up Andrew Painter this year?
Yes.
I have
Didn't they
no
like
freaking
shut
idea.
him down?
Like, what makes you think that?
Yeah, Fink.
They
And
keep,
when-
they keep on
and
telling us
when
they
w-
are.
When will they bring him up? Like they brought up Mick Abel. He pitched great, and they sent him right back down, which you knew they were going to do. But is Painter even on the 40-man roster?
Pretty sure.
I don't think he is. Which I don't
think
think
he
Otto
is.
Kemp is, and I don't think Crawford is.
Crawford.
Which you know is you can't call them up unless they're on the 40-man roster. Now I know they
think
got
have to
guys
be on
like
a
Cal
40-man roster.
Stevenson
You
on
can
there,
lose them in the Rule 5, right?
but that's not until November. You don't have to declare them for that.
This is getting deep.
Mick
It is,
Abel,
like, but you need, in order to, you can't just say I want to call that guy up. He's got to be on the 40-man roster. So
Wait,
before
don't
you,
they just add him and take someone else off?
yes,
can.
you can do that.
I mean, but
Mick Abel is on the 40-man. Painter is not.
Well, of course, Mick Abel's
Right.
on the 40-man. He's
yeah, Mick
pitching the
Abel's
damn
definitely
game.
on. I'm talking
Pitching
about
right now.
Painter, Kemp, and Crawford. I don't think.
I was thinking. My bad. I'm missing up Kemp.
You're all right,
Kemp is not on there.
Yeah, so they have to switch their 40-man roster to call these guys up, but they deserve to come up. This team needs a shot of youth in the arm.
Yeah,
I mean,
and Meech, related note, I think
We have a lurker.
you had a no, we're not there yet. You had a tweet about this, right? You're
Lurker
angry
that's
about the
selling
way
our
they're
kids' furniture.
managing.
well, it wasn't
Right?
even anger. Like on Twitter, I'm just throwing this out there. Let me ask the question: why can the Phillies call up Johan Rojas when he wasn't even close to as good as a prospect? Well, he kind of close, but he wasn't as good of a prospect as Crawford is. Why can they call him up without anyone questioning it? But if you want to call up, oh no, Crawford has
Not
so
ready.
many things to work on in the minors.
Can he bunt?
He grounds into he ground balls too many times. Like his on base, his BABIP. So like, just let the kid come up, let him play. Like
You know
let
what,
him let him
Meech,
try and
His,
adapt.
his ex-Woba is not good enough.
I mean,
Wait,
it's-
I got to ask you a question real quick. So I'm looking at this tweet. This is Meech's tweet, and it says Phillies can call up an unproven 22-year-old Johan Rojas in 2023, but let's keep this kid in the minors until he's like 25. And that's a quote tweet of a Phillies HR tracker account that says Justin Crawford is currently batting 340 in AAA. Now, I see there's 36 bookmarks. Okay. Help me understand what that really means.
That
means,
probably means people want to wait until he sucks and come back and be like, "You fucking idiot! You said to call him up when he was 22. Now he's 25.
Which is impressive. I can appreciate that kind of hate and pettiness.
But it's
So
such
love
weird
that.
shit on Twitter nowadays.
I love
You like I was just talking out loud. And you know, if they can do this, why can't they do that? And everyone's
they
like,
want to put you on freezing cold
fucking,
takes.
You idiot, man! You're such a dummy, man.
And they act like they're the smartest people in the world.
And they say like the one dude was like, there's psychological issues that go into it. I was like, oh, my bad, man. I forgot to think about the psychological issue. Like, fuck you.
Listen,
like,
this is so good to me that people are like on Twitter and they see Misha's tweet and they're like, oh, that's a take. Let me just bookmark that. See what happens. I mean,
is that little like upside down thing?
Yeah, Mark.
Like if
I advise you to ignore this.
If they contact me in 5 years to talk about Justin Crawford, I don't give a fuck,
we'll
dude.
talk about
I don't care. I don't care right now.
Quoted that one.
Okay, where are we on this whole thing? You know what? Like, without further ado, I can't. Like, I see Betty's goofy face down here. I'm just gonna bring her in because.
Oh, Betty's here.
Yeah. I want to
text me, Betty. I didn't text you back. I'm doing a show here.
I want to bring on somebody who's become the steward of this wonderful space that we have, and just a quick.
Someone just came and took the fridge.
Just some quick background on the space here, the Coop. All right, we're at 1025 Hamilton Street here in Spring Garden, right next to Love City Brewing. And you know, when we started this place, we wanted a place to be able to do the podcast. We built a stage, you put up TVs, did all sorts of great things. No real idea what we're going to do at all. And
I built most of it by hand.
Yeah, you did, Jack. You know what?
This hand and this hand.
Sasha,
one hammer.
Sasha did more than you.
It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
True story.
No, but we had a pop-up comedy show.
Don't tell comedy. Yep.
And it was fantastic. And then, you know, I had met Betty through kind of a mutual friend, and she actually was on the pod early on. And her performance is so riveting. We haven't had her back since, I don't believe. That's probably just
she's
on
always
me.
It's an open door policy. She's got a key to the place.
Yeah, that's true. It's literally an open door policy. But anyway, point is this. Betty started what's called Next in Line Comedy. And Next in Line Comedy has made a home here at the Coop and is doing wonderful things on Fridays and Saturdays, having really amazing upcoming talent here for shows and some very much established acts. On Friday, we had
Todd Glass.
We had Kyle Pagan in here with the Men at Work podcast. So, you know, we've always wanted this place to be somewhere that content's being created and there's different forms of entertainment. And Betty has really helped make it a wonderful place. So I wanted to bring Betty on because the Coop is available to you to come see these shows and rent out. And she's really the absolute expert on this. So without further ado, let's in Betty.
Heyo.
Stage name Betty Smithsonian. Betty, let me give you a tip. I love you. You know that. She hates me because I'm always like, you know, telling her what to do. If you hold that phone horizontally, it's going to look really good on our
Turn that
screen.
some bitch sideways.
Yeah. There you go. Ready? Oh, is it like you have one of those things? Yes.
There you go.
Much better.
Oh my
Amazing.
God.
Do you have that
Thank
on
you
like
so
one of those
much.
things that comes out of your air conditioning vent? Did I mess you up?
I'm holding it in my no. I'm not driving. I was thinking I would do this while driving, but
Right.
I think I'm just gonna stay still.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do. Whatever you
You
want
guys
to do.
look great.
Pedestrians, thank you.
Okay, so Betty.
You know what I was thinking when I came in and I was listening to Meech talk about baseball, and I was thinking, why am I spending any money on Ambien at all? You know, like when I have trouble sleeping, I need Meech to just talk to me
Call
about
me up.
baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, Betty, that is so true. When he starts going to, I don't know if he's even on the 40-man roster. That is definite bedtime
great.
You
material.
can't talk about calling a guy up and
He's talking about Rule 5 in November.
Betty, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, put him to sleep, Meech. Put him to sleep.
That's why there's 4 viewers on YouTube right now.
Oh,
on this
God.
podcast.
I was thinking the same thing. I didn't say anything
on
about
YouTube.
YouTube talk like that.
Listen.
We talk about golf.
There are, according to this, there's 331 people watching. All right, so everyone just mind your P's and Q's. Okay, Betty, can you
Yes.
talk to us real quick about the Coop and the history there and the fact
sure
that
can.
you just, you know, you dominate the
Yes.
landscape here?
Yes, awesome. Tom let me into the space, and then I moved in and I never ever left. So we have a fantastic indie comedy club that is kind of piggybacking with the Coop there on Fridays and Saturdays, sometimes also Thursdays and Sundays when we can. And then we also help facilitate the rentals of the space. We've had birthday parties and baby showers and poetry slams and classes. Local theaters use the space and talent shows and all kinds of stuff. So while you guys are doing this cool like podcast and this kind of experience in Philly sports, we also had a huge giant Super Bowl party at that space. Very easily you can kind of turnkey the spot into, you can make it anything you want.
We had the
really
Philly women's
super
rugby team at their
inexpensive.
event.
Yeah,
If someone wanted to rent this out for something similar to, say, a Diddy party,
Yeah.
could that happen in here?
Yeah.
Better you than me.
Yeah.
Just sign the
Just
NDA
curious.
first.
I'm just curious.
I'm fine with anything that. Listen, we say no confetti, no glitters. We don't say anything about baby oil. So it's actually.
Just
Yeah.
curious.
See, that's a
No,
good
it's a good
comic. The way
question.
she pivoted on that. You know, that's what a comic does.
Yeah, I was just testing her
And
skills.
Betty, if you wanted to learn how to be a comic, what's
Yes.
something else that you could do here at the
Yes.
Coop?
Let's talk about
Yeah.
it.
Also, Manny Brown is actually teaching the summer session. We have Stand Up 101 that starts the last Sunday of June. So you could take a class, you could learn how to do some stand-up comedy. And even if you don't want to be a comic or a performer, just learning how to write and get on stage will help you be a better speaker in front of strangers. So maybe you do.
It's really incredible. I've sat in on a
Yeah.
few a while ago, and it was really amazing to watch. And then watch at the end of their class, they all get up and they do a whole show and like all their family. It
Yeah.
was really awesome, and it's a really, really cool thing that you guys do.
Yeah, and I would say
Yeah.
like what we've developed here is a really like organic space that's configurable for just about anything. You know, we started it with a focus on sports content and sports, which is why we have a gigantic 100-inch projector screen. You know,
Yeah.
we've got 3 other
No,
screens.
somebody just came and picked that up off Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, yeah.
That he sold it.
Yeah, we lost
Sorry,
that.
we lost that.
Yeah.
No, but you know, as I
It's
think
set
about
up.
it,
It's set up for watch parties. You can have gaming competitions. You could have a big karaoke party with your business. You want to rent out the space. We have a great relationship with Love City Brewing next door. They run the bar. We have catering options. I mean, it's super inexpensive. You cannot find a space this inexpensive
Nope.
anywhere.
Can't do it.
yeah, and as we
Come get it.
think about football season, which will be here before we know it, one thing that I'm putting out into the air for everybody, you want to have a great party for your fantasy football draft. If you're one of these old school people who likes to get everybody together, that is something we
I've
can
personally
absolutely
done it here the past 2 years.
Yeah, we can knock that thing out of the box. So if you're interested in that, if there's, particular games, I'll give you a great example. You want to watch European soccer, right? I guarantee you nobody's in here when you want to watch European
3
soccer.
a.m.
You want to have people come in, you know
That's
what I mean?
perfect.
Something like that. If you're like a Cowboys fan and you want to make this like the home of like the Cowboys, no, you cannot do that.
I was getting ready to say, what the fuck are you
no,
talking
you will
about?
not allow that. I was just thinking about our boy Murph, who was letting the Lions fans come in.
Oh, no, it's a trap, right?
Nah.
You say invite them in and we can beat them up.
Kill them.
Yes.
Killing
If
it.
you're
Yo,
If
if you
you're
kept
a-
going for another 5 seconds, Fink was literally about to punch you in the face. I just want to let
I
you
was
know.
so he was rambling. I was like,
Go ahead.
if you're
Betty.
if you're a Cowboys fan, we do have a space that you can rent. We share it with La Chinesca. It's the green dumpster in the back.
I got a
And
better
you
idea.
can get it
Or
really
there's some
cheap.
sodomy going on,
Wait.
potentially.
Whoa.
I got a better idea. What about we just take them down to the kickboxing studio? You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah, the
down there.
kickboxing. Yeah, it's those
All right.
guys
Tell us a
there.
little bit though
Yeah.
about Next in Line and your comedy shows, because that's something that's
Yeah.
happening every weekend, and it's an awesome
Yeah.
place to see. Like really authentic comics. Some of the people who are
Yeah.
coming up to support, new comics in the scene. Talk a little bit about Next in Line.
Yeah, absolutely. Next in Line is a space where you can come discover your next favorite comedian. So we have tickets that start at $10. There's never a 2-drink minimum. So you could come in, you could see a show, and you're going to walk away having seen 6, 7, 8 comics, similar to like Comedy Cellar does showcase comedy. Where you're just going to see a handful of comics and you're going to know some of them, and others you're going to be like, holy shit, I can't believe I just had to sit through that. eight
the nature
minutes
of
are
it.
going to go
Yeah.
by. Yeah, but there's so many rising stars. Jamie Wolf. This year we have Winston Hodges, Blake Wexler's coming on. He's doing a Blake and Friends. Chip Chantry will be
Heard
doing a
of him.
headliner show. We have a lot of really phenomenal comics that have comedy specials that have toured professionally all over the country. We're not putting up open mic comics. We're putting up comics that are professional comics. You've never heard of them yet, but you will. They come from all over the country. We actually recently just booked again for the 3rd year. Todd Glass will be here the last weekend of October. He's getting ready for his New York residency. He takes over the space for a week. He brings a band. He does a full-on kind of comedy experience, an event of a lifetime, it's called. So yeah, we have all kinds of stuff that you can come see, and it's accessible to everybody. So it's not going to cost you a ton of money. Yeah, we have I think we have the sexiest stage on the Eastern Seaboard. That's what I'll say.
Wait, I have a picture of it. Hold up.
Is it sexiest on the Eastern Seaboard when Meech, Fink, and Jesse are sitting on it?
No.
No.
Look at this. Wait, look at this picture. Betty, to her credit, has really run wild with this whole like purple velvet, purple lighting situation.
So good. It's
So good. It's
drastic
nice.
difference.
I mean, look at this. This is nice.
Yeah, it's sexy. I mean,
You did a
you
great
realize
job.
thank you so much. You realize you're seeing something really cool in a cool spot.
The way the space transforms, like from what we're in here doing now to what you guys have done with the curtains and all the runners, it is absolute magic. What it looks like when you walk through those doors and you're met with the curtains.
There we go.
And it's totally different. And you feel as though you're in some place that is special. Like, because a lot of times people are like, I had no idea what I was going to walk through those doors when I walked up those steps. Like, I didn't know what was going to be on the other side of that door. And then they walk in and they see it and you have the lights go.
I just want to make sure that everyone's on the same page, because the best, coolest thing that ever happened here was when I got the laser green lights and the smoke machine
Oh,
for
yes.
the entrance to the Super Bowl party.
That was my
Without
favorite
favorite
thing in here ever.
I just
I
want
mean-
to,
That was
Yeah.
pretty
I mean, that was the best. I mean,
You talk about setting the tone.
yeah.
You talk
We
about setting
set
the tone. That was Matt. Oh, that was amazing.
And just so
Did you
everyone
set off the
knows,
fire alarm?
we had,
Yes,
we
twice.
did self fire alarm,
2
but it's fine.
times.
We had a Super Bowl
Nice.
party here, and I had it in my mind that we have this like kind of long staircase, and I was like, I want people to feel like they're walking out of the tunnel onto the field, you know?
Yeah.
And I got the right DMX song queued up on loop. I got a cheesy laser machine off Amazon, and then Betty and I struggled a little with the fog machine, but man, let me tell you. And
It
then
was great.
watching the Super Bowl here that night with probably 75 people, most of which were family and friends, was just like everything
so
that I
cool.
ever dreamed that we needed to do. So I feel complete after that. Everything else is a bonus.
How do you not have video of that to pull up right now?
I have it.
We all
I
have
have-
video of that.
I have the video. We don't, when you cut it back up in a clip of the reel, I have a phenomenal video of that stairwell with all the fog coming out of it.
Yeah,
I'll
I think
send
we
it.
all have a
I got it somewhere. Sorry, my bad on the pre-production.
I know.
Damn it,
John.
But anyway, point is this.
Yeah.
This is a great
Rent the space.
space.
Come see a show.
Yeah.
Wait, Betty, can you do me a favor? When I have to go to bed tonight, can you call me up and tell me all about the different events you can hold here?
Yeah.
You can't recycle. You can't
Well
like
played,
reverse
Mitch.
photos.
So good.
Sorry, Betty.
That's professional
No.
shit right there.
That's a fucking amazing callback. That's phenomenal.
Well,
All
You've
back.
been
There
hitting
it
the
is.
classes up, haven't you?
Yeah,
the
I was
class.
here at Manny Brown's class one night.
It just goes to show he sat on that and it festered, and then he was like, "All right, I'm coming back
How
at
fucking
you."
there's no fucking way you're gonna get me that good and let me just leave on that. There's no fucking way.
He was like
Betty.
fucking literally. I saw him putting into Chat GPT, like, when should I say that again? I need to put that in there.
Bang,
Good job.
bang. All right. Well, look.
All right. Thank you guys.
You're the best, Betty. I love you.
You
You're
are
the
the
best.
best.
Also, and just guys for the summer, there's a lot more room to move in and do stuff. If you're looking for a place to have something in the summer, just hit us up, man. Anywhere at the Coop Philly, at City Pigeons Pod. Just let us know. We'll hook you up. And next season, I'm hoping we can set something up every Eagles game. We got this great partnership with Love City. I'm hoping this is going to be a place to be for people to watch the Birds, home, away, whatever. We're working on that.
Yes.
Details to come.
And
Betty?
she said no glitter and
No
no
confetti.
confetti, but we could fill the place with sand and create a beach, right?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sand
In the
is
summer.
fine. Baby oil is fine. I mean, obviously, you guys are all sitting there jerking off, so cum is fine.
Wait, Betty, do you have any shows coming up that you want to plug in the near future? If not, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I know we have
Definitely.
Blake and Friends.
Yeah, Blake and Friends is coming up. So is Chip Chantry and Friends. And
that'll
for
be a
anyone
banger.
anyone who's listening to the podcast, we also have this really cool show June 12th. It's a Thursday called Don't Bomb, and it's an audience judging the comics show. We're gonna have Time Out New York is gonna be there. They're filming it, so that'll be June 12th.
Who are the comics? Who's going to be on that?
I'm gonna
night?
invite Zevi to that. He did that a few weeks ago here.
It's Drew Foster, Drew Montana, Ryan Foster.
Oh, that's a good. That's a good start.
That's cool.
Yeah,
When's
it's
the
a good-
Blake and Friends? Can you give us some dates on those other ones?
Yeah,
audience?
I don't want to put Meech to sleep, but August 2nd is Blake. Just check out nextinlinecomedy.com. That's where all the dates are. Blake's on August 2nd. I think Chip is in July. You got it.
Awesome.
Sweet.
All right, Betty.
All right.
That
Thanks, you
Thank you for
guys.
everything.
Much love.
Thank
You
you,
got
buddy.
it.
Have a nice
Mwah.
day.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Adios.
All right. I hope she's not expecting that to meaningfully move the needle.
Blake was with us at the Super Bowl parade. He's a nice guy.
Parade. I think.
Listen,
we had to
it
have sold.
happens, man.
We had
I'm a
to have
grown
sold like
man. I
7
went through
parties
fucking
just now.
puberty. My balls dropped. I don't know what happens. Okay, I can't grow facial hair.
Happens
There's
to the
something
best of us,
wrong.
man. Happens to the best.
Oh my god, man!
Thank you for telling us.
We're
was
out of
fun.
control.
I don't
All right.
know if they dropped. I don't know that for sure.
All right, so we somehow just managed to get up there on our time, but you know
Yeah.
what? Before we go, I wanted to just throw in a couple Eagles points here because I know we're all looking at stuff that's going on with the OTAs
Before-
and
I kind of like that
What'd you
little Eagles away games watch party here. I did.
Oh,
That
yeah.
should be a staple.
that's
That's
we're
what
gonna
I'm
do.
saying. That
Listen,
could be a thing this year.
That's
man.
what we're gonna do this year. Okay, at a minimum.
Fink,
every-
did you come to the Super Bowl party?
Oh,
No.
Okay.
I watched with the
Yes,
same
continue.
couple people I watched
Continue on,
with in the first Super Bowl.
It's a superstition.
Yeah, it was superstitious here. We lost how many games here in a row before that
It's
one?
fine. It's
Continue, Jess.
You guys broke the.
Nah, I mean, Tommy's
Super
got
Bowl,
it's a good
superstition.
it's a good call
what
out.
are you gonna do?
It's a good call out.
I'm not at the shore. I'm at the Super Bowl party. Where the
Right.
fuck am I ever?
That's
Huh?
right. You're just out here with your
You can't come
prepubescent
get me,
voice
please.
cracking all the time. It's just tragic.
I was at the lottery party with you. You know what? Jesse, finish.
No, but next season, away games minimum. Love City in here, slinging drinks. We're gonna make it work. I want this to be like an annex for the diehards that
Hell yeah.
come up here and check out the game. So anyway, we're gonna make that happen. But
no
on the Birds,
pressure.
real quick.
But speaking
Yeah.
of enjoying the Eagles games, I got a voicemail this week from our good friend Scott Clark of Blue Monkey Catering, and he
Blue
said,
Monkey
I've-
Catering.
he goes, "I've thought long and hard about this. We're doing every Eagles game next year." I was like, "Oh my god!"
I'm sorry.
Love it.
Hard pass. Unless someone else is gonna put my truck in line at 8 a.m,
Leash.
out. We'll figure it out.
They create robots for that now.
We'll come
Yeah.
join him.
We'll use AI. We'll
Yeah,
figure
you
it
put a
out.
crackhead out
You can
there.
hire bums
Yeah,
to
get a
do
smoker
that for you
to
now.
All right, Meech. I know you were talking about. You saw some things from Fangio that you thought were noteworthy.
No, I was listening to his little press conference they had
His
the other
little
day.
press.
I don't know. It's a little get together. They come and hang out and ask each other questions. And I almost wish I forget who the reporter was who asked the question, but do you remember the story that came out? It was right before the parade where Vic Fangio got the defense together and criticized them on the fourth quarter of the Super
Yeah.
Bowl. And I thought that was so funny. Like it was such a classic, like just an old grumpy
ridiculous.
man. Like let me so they asked him about it was like the last question in his press conference, and he called it fake news. He said it never happened. He said, I never said a negative word to those guys. It was all positive reinforcement. He said I wouldn't do something like that on the day of the parade. And
Good. I love him.
but
Which makes sense.
it
They
makes
scored
sense, but
after he got
I kind of
Gatorade.
like the story, and I wish the reporter never even asked the question.
It
Like,
Because
really
I was
should.
happier before thinking that he did it. It's one of those little
No, you can't
If
be
he
fake-
like.
would have done it though, it would have
like
been
some
kind of
Paul
corny.
Bunyan story that you just rather believe than
You can't be so old school, without.
I can.
I
I can.
I'm just
You
saying.
underestimate me.
He is.
I love listening.
I
to
love
him.
being ignorant and not understanding and just being like, I believe that. I love it.
We're happy
It's
for
such
you.
an innocent feeling that I love.
I love that Fangio is so straightforward and honest. He almost like catches himself and he's like, oh, I gotta pull it back.
It was a really cool press conference. They were asking him about Jalen Carter, and they were like,
yeah.
he was in the best shape of his career late in the season. And they said, why? He goes, I'm going to duck that question. I'm not going to answer that. So he obviously knew why. Like maybe he was lazy, maybe
Right.
but he didn't want to call him out. He didn't want to say it. I think
He's on that
Fangio's an
sauce.
awesome dude.
Might be on that
And
sauce.
Yeah.
the if you remember, the Dolphins
HGH.
thought he was too hard and didn't want to play for him.
Right.
That's why they fired him. Like, how soft and weak are the fucking Dolphins?
Yeah.
They
Terrible.
got
Shout out
nothing
Vic
to-
Fangio.
Nothing to show.
Yeah,
for
Vic.
it. We love that.
The OG.
All right. Anybody believe in the Madden curse?
Yes.
No.
You do.
We already won.
Not to a point, but my things, I'm more concerned about all the carries and
Yeah, his
everything
health.
else.
He's not. He doesn't have a good track record of being
Yeah.
healthy. So
It's
whatever.
When you think back on last year, I mean, that was really fortunate to have him do what he did
Yeah.
and make it through healthy.
the whole team stay healthy. Basically.
But they got the guy from the Packers. If he
AJ
goes
Dillon?
down a little bit,
Dylan,
yeah,
who's
I
a
don't know,
beast
man.
supposedly.
yeah, so
Corey Dillon's still
we'll be all
hopping
right.
around.
We'll be all right.
Yeah.
And if not, we have like 17 fifth round picks, mid-season picks someone up.
How about
Yeah,
they,
we have
they
Corey-
just saved
We
how
have
about-
Corey
how about
Clement.
this? They
We
just
have
saved like $14 million on
LeGarrette
Huff. Is
Blount.
that right?
This year.
The Niners gave
Apparently, we
Huff
have the dead
this year.
cat for next year. I don't enjoy that, but
Like, would it be crazy to go get Nick Chubb? He's still available.
Oh,
Like, is that
hell
that
yeah.
crazy? The dude's a friggin' monster.
He has a lot of knee
I
injuries,
would love
bro.
that.
Well, if you have him
Give him the
in
vet
a
minimum.
three-man rotation,
He could get more. He'll get.
it could
more
be
than
like
that.
the
Nick, I'll get you twice the
2017
vet
with Jay
minimum.
Ajayi and
Do
Corey
you-
Clement and what's his name, the big dude from the Patriots,
Ajayi?
LeGarrette Blunt.
LeGarrette Blunt. Yeah.
do
He
you
said Lagerett.
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 There is a legger. There is a legger.
maybe Hallie's listening to this?
You talking about
You
Legette?
think?
Whatever that
So
guy-
imagine having
Carolina-
Chubb,
LeGarrette.
Chubb, Dylan, and Saquon. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, that'd be pretty vicious.
That would give me a
We should run
chub.
the wishbone with them.
Get your Mel Holloway in
about
there.
an erection in my pants, Meech.
I got it. I got
Oh, I didn't know if you got that.
This is
one.
what
Sorry.
happens.
it. Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
Mike's gonna pick that one up too.
Beautiful.
Not to interrupt you, Jesse.
No, I had nothing to say. They're just high-fiving about erection jokes over my head.
Yeah, I
Betty
think that,
started it. Okay, Betty's
Yeah.
sitting here
It's
talking about us
9:08.
jerking off.
Anything goes.
She let everyone
It's
know
true.
who's listening that we're jerking off here all the time. So
All right. Well, this has been fun, folks. Good to get back.
I did have fun. I miss you guys.
I'm
What's up,
glad.
Trev? Good to see you, Trev.
Yeah, Trev jumped in the
I hope
chat late. We
the
appreciate
new
that
family
about
is
him.
all good, man. We love you.
Now that,
Yo, I'm bringing back Knock It Off next week. I'll have it.
damn it.
No, it's
And
okay.
Rocky on
It
baseball.
went on too
Get
long.
off.
Today's not the time and place for it. I'll have it, really tight, and it'll be a good one.
Can I make a
the
song
return
for it?
of Knock? Yeah.
All right. Next week, the return of Knock It Off.
Jessica, I make a song for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you're gonna think about it and debut it next week?
Oh no, I'm gonna compose
He's gonna
it
perform
and
it.
I'm gonna send it to
It
you.
can't be like Knock It Off.
It's gonna be on a Casio. Right?
Shit.
he knows your stick. man.
Damn it.
Yeah,
All
it
right,
can't be
all
the
right,
same.
all right, all right. I'll figure this
All right.
out. Next week, I'm
In
going to
fairness to
debut
Jesse,
the
we-
Meech's Knock It Off
We
song.
do need to have another tune. Other
Yeah.
than,
I mean, I like all that.
I love it as well, but it's
Knock It
I'm
Off
gonna-
doesn't have the
it's
right.
become a little
cadence to
redundant
fit
for
that
us.
song.
I'm going to download an app and like really make a song for this.
Yeah. All right.
It's going to be like Knock It Off.
You know what?
I
I,
love
think
that.
Wooly made something.
That's
I'll have
really
to go
good.
find it. Wooly made something at one point. I think it might have been
Where's
more of
Wooly
like an
at?
intro.
Wooly made the fucking
We're
meat.
losing
Wooly's
people.
been down south in Atlanta.
Listen,
Barbecue.
people are saying the podcast is falling off.
Trapping.
Well, it's because our listeners are falling off. Where are these people? We need them in the
Trev's
chat.
back.
You got to be
Help us
accountable.
out.
All right.
Where you at, Oath Mode?
Oh.
We're not talking to the people listening. You guys are great.
My boy
Nah, yeah.
Blake's there.
But
Look
tell
at him. He's
those
there
people
every
who
week,
stop
man.
I,
listen.
Blake, you know
Blake
Blake's
is
going
as
to be here.
consistent as anybody.
Blake's an A1 day one P1.
There you go.
That's my guy.
All right,
All right,
folks.
Rock
we
guy,
love
he's our
you.
guy.
Anybody
With
hyped for the finals? No?
Sayonara.
No, how could we hype?
Anybody
for
hype?
finals?
You mean
I
the
am.
Stanley
Rock,
Cup
I
finals?
am.
So you can get some bets in?
I had the Thunder in 6, but I do think
got
that
6?
It's going to be a 4-1.
I think it's
Thunder
going to be a
victory.
4-1
Gentleman's sweep,
Thunder.
yep.
Yeah.
I
Thunder.
got Thunder in
That ass.
6.
Thunder and
Anybody
6.
hyped for the softball finals like me?
Just
No.
glad the Knicks lost.
Now that Oklahoma's out, I'm out.
All right. Peace out, everybody. Happy start to summer.
Later, boys.
Let's keep
We
it
love
going.
you all.
We'll be back next week, maybe, but soon. No
Put your
matter what.
sunscreen on.